Previously on Survivor. Orla Piri hoped to bounce back after unanimously voting out Kaki. Meanwhile, Maramira celebrated their first win, and Nick continued to gather troops to go after Kelly, solidifying Spencer as a fifth alongside his main alliance of four. At the Immunity Challenge, the tribes went head-to-head in the first ever STC escape room, and while Orla Piri got locked up on their Tangram puzzle, Maramira was dominant throughout, earning them their second straight victory. During the challenge, Stephanie found a clue to the South Campus idol, but not before Spencer caught her in the act. Stephanie falsely promised to eventually share the clue with Spencer, and then proceeded to tell both Ryan and Autumn about the actual contents. Back on Orla Piri, the core alliance of Autumn, Regan, Greg, and Mitch plotted to pull in Allison to take out Jake, and planned not to tell Raphael until the last possible second. However, when Mitch erroneously shared details about his conversation with Raphael to the entire tribe, all hell broke loose, and although the foursome decided to stick to Jake, it was apparent that Mitch had compromised Raphael's trust, and Jake now knew he was the target. Raphael and Jake scrambled to rally numbers, hoping to target Allison alongside Autumn and Regan. Unfortunately, the girls had other plans, as they informed Raphael that Jake was still their target. Raphael, unwilling to lose his closest ally, relayed this information to Jake. However, he soon realized he had to fend for himself and reluctantly agreed to turn on his Day One alliance. Just hours before Tribal Council, Jake sensed he was still the target and made a last-second emotional plea to Greg, Mitch, and Allison. And it paid off. At Tribal Council, the boys and Allison opted to vote out Raphael in a 4-3 vote, leaving both Autumn and Regan in the dark. Following the vote, the tribe was thrown a curveball, as Greg proceeded to publicly read the clue to the South Campus idol that they all left behind at the previous challenge, and the same one that Stephanie had. With 14 people left, the question still remains: who will be voted out tonight?
Do you have to record this?
Yeah, sorry. Alright, so that did not go as planned. I thought we were voting out Jake, and that did not happen. So, yeah, things are definitely going to be a little different now.
And then the rest of them got together, voted Raphael. They didn't tell us because we're close with Raphael. But, like, at the same time, it's like, that was our strong four. Like, they shouldn't have.
I thought we had a solid four alliance that were all going Jake, and I was expecting it to be unanimous towards Jake. So it's going to take a little bit to figure out what went wrong there, and I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out and, yeah, talk to the people I thought I trusted and see what the hell happened.
I would have voted for Raphael.
But now I don't know what to think because,
yeah. Okay, this tribal sucked. I am so mad for so many reasons. The two guys in our alliance didn't tell me or Regan that they were voting for Raphael because I think that they think that we were close. But it's still just annoying. Like, we should have that strong four alliance. That's what you said that we were, and like, I don't know.
Right. Want to just go look for the idol?
I'm saying, you want to do that tonight or tomorrow?
Idol looking?
Yeah. Alright, so tonight's vote was a huge game changer for Greg and I. We started off, Greg and I, working really solidly with Autumn and Regan.
We were going to go with Jake. Me, Autumn, Regan, and Mitch had all decided on Jake. And And then after meeting with Jake, Allison, and Mitch today, Jake gave us some information about how Autumn and Regan were wanting to use Raphael as a vote, and I was really confused as to why they wanted to keep him and were so adamant about keeping Raphael, and I could never put two and two together until Jake said that, and then I realized that they were trying to keep him as a vote. That way, at the next tribal council when we lost, they wanted to pull Allison for All Girls Alliance, add Raphael, and then take out either me or Mitch.
After new light was shed on maybe some of Autumn and Regan's intentions, Greg and I decided to align ourselves with Jake and Allison, as we think we can trust them more moving forward, especially post-merge. Okay, so I'm sure you two are probably really confused.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So Jake kind of approached us right at 7:15, and we didn't really have any time to call you up. And we got good vibes from him,
and Mitch fed us some crap about how he didn't have enough time to go tell us to vote off Raphael instead of Jake. Do I look stupid? Does Regan look stupid? No. If he ever thinks that we're gonna trust him, he's wrong. And Mitch, that was a really dumb move on your part, because you've already got a target on your back for that text. No one trusts you. You just lost two of the only people that had a shred of trust in you. So we'll see where this gets you in the future. Thanks a lot for the blind side. I really enjoyed it. I know Regan did too. We're very happy about it. I don't know, it would just be nice if you could have shot us a text, because I know we feel
It takes 2 seconds to send a text to
That's
confirm a vote,
But here's
or
the
a
thing.
FaceTime
But
call
that's the thing,
on
though.
the way home.
I mean, we could have FaceTime, I guess, but the thing was we didn't want to send a text because we already agreed on Jake. It would be just really weird for
Well, it's also how much can we really trust you if you aren't even gonna include us in a simple detail that we would have gone along with the plan if we just knew.
If we knew the plan, we would have gone along with it. Because it's not like we were gung-ho on keeping Raphael. We would have gone along with the plan if that's what we knew the plan was.
Right. I mean, I want to be understanding, but at the same time,
Yeah,
I understand.
And then, thanks for Greg. Really, he's such a great guy, because he gave everyone the clue that was in our room, which I already knew about. I called Stephanie right after Tribal and told her that I had to talk to her.
So at Tribal, my alliance decided to blindside me and Regan. We thought we were voting for Jake. Well, this is what Mitch said, because Mitch came over to us after Tribal and tried to explain himself. I don't believe a word that he says. He's such a snake. I hate him. Continuing on.
I'm going to tell her that my whole tribe knows that we have her clue and we know kind of where it is.
My night was already bad, so I was sitting there at Tribal and I was just like, oh my god, what's happening? And then I see in Greg's stupid little hand this little folded up note. And I was like, oh my god. And then he starts reading it. It's your clue. He's like, this is a clue that no one found in our room. And he started reading it. It's the same one with the south and west and by the buildings and everything. So my whole team has your clue and they're looking for it right now. Oh, lovely.
It just sucks. It sucks so bad. You go from such a good spot in this game to not knowing what the heck just happened. And it's awful. It sucks. This game completely changed.
So, you probably have a lot of questions, or at least concerns. Yeah. We thought that we were going with Jake as the vote, me, Autumn, Regan, and Mitch. Some stuff happened that got flipped around, some conversations we had with Jake and Allison, and we get that vote flipped. We didn't tell Autumn and Regan that we were going to do that, and it showed after Tribal, because they were pissed. So what happened? It wasn't supposed to be malicious. I just want to throw that out there.
How can we believe that, though?
I know. I'm going to give you my explanation. You can believe it or not, but this is pretty much what happened. So we were set on Jake, and I guess Jake texted Mitch and wanted to meet up. I didn't really have any. They cleared the air, I guess, and.
But why would Jake trust Raphael? Why would Jake trust Mitch after what Mitch did?
Because they cleared the air, I guess, is the thing. That was the whole point of the conversation, was they wanted to clear the air before Tribal. He texted me at almost 7 and was like, look, we're switching it. Or he goes, look, I trust Jake more than Raphael. I feel good with that. I'm switching to Raphael. Allison parked at my house, and so then at that point we had 4, and we didn't really have enough time, we felt, to talk to you and Autumn, which puts you guys in a rough spot, I know.
But it takes the quickest FaceTime call as you're walking over with Allison to tell us.
She was just not a happy camper, and And I completely understand why. We went behind her back, but I just tried to tell her, look, I've wanted Raphael out. So when Mitch said, hey, let's do Raphael, I was all on board, and that was that. And, you know, I wasn't coming after one of them. I just was going after Raphael. So,
like, I don't know if Jake will work with us post-merge, which is why he's still on the bottom for me, but I trust him a hell of a lot more than I trusted Raphael. And I mean, I was upfront about that too, and you guys know that. I said that in our meeting.
But you were the only one who said that.
Right, and I didn't make this, but I didn't make this decision.
Too,
I can't control what Mitch says and doesn't say.
so you just follow Mitch. Whatever Mitch says, you go with.
This time I did, because I was absolutely on board with taking Raphael out. I was not going to argue that, because that's what I wanted. So if he once he, because I trust Mitch, so once he said, hey, we've got the numbers, I was like, awesome. Nothing else needs to be said to me. I didn't need convincing.
It just seems like you guys kind of went against our alliance that I thought was pretty strong.
I mean, we didn't come after you guys, we came after Raphael. We just didn't tell you. So I mean, I get why it's sketchy, but it's not like we were like, hey, let's get Autumn, or hey, let's get Regan, you know?
I know, but it's still like the alliance we had established that you guys are just going against.
I know.
I don't know. We'll see if she wants to work with me anymore, but I would be doubtful of it. You know, it is what it is. I have a solid 4 still. I thought I had a solid 4, and that kind of went by the wayside, but I trust Mitch and I trust Allison, and Jake is a very upfront guy, so I trust him too.
I'm not saying I'm going to blindly follow Mitch throughout this game, but for this move, I was 100% good with it, as long as we had the numbers.
All right.
So, I mean, take it as you will, but
I feel pretty content. It was a big move and it was early. It's only our second vote, but I think it benefited my game, at least right now. Long term, it maybe put some wrinkles in, but I don't know. That's Survivor. You just got to kind of adapt and work from what you're given. So the other twist last night was that after the vote, Greg, he read out loud a clue to the hidden immunity idol, which there was already some tension in our tribe because of the vote, and that certainly didn't help. And I didn't help myself out, because when I met with Regan, she asked, hey, are you going to go look for the idol? And I said, oh no, I'm probably just going to go home and eat tacos. And then probably about 20 minutes later, she caught me looking for the idol. So
I met with Regan after the tribal. She was not very happy, and she asked if I was going to look for the idol, and I said, nope, I'm going to go eat tacos. And then she found me looking for the idol.
Yeah, kind of sniped me too. Well, she didn't see you at first. I was hoping you'd like get the hit and run away.
I didn't realize she didn't see me, so I was about to. And
I was trying to go like this, like flick you away, but I mean.
So there's new added element to the game now, is that we have a clue. I've personally looked. I looked for 2 hours one night. I looked for 2.5 hours another night, and then last night I looked with Allison and Mitch for probably 1 hour and 45 minutes, 1.5 hours, and we could not find it.
So we are finishing up a failed, unfortunately, idol search. Yeah, Greg kind of joined in a little bit later.
After my conversation with Regan.
Yeah, that ran a little long.
Yep, she was not too happy.
Yeah, she was laying on the guilt. You know what happened? There's like no going back.
Just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
we made a decision, and we just got to live with it now.
I mean, I know there's not complete team unity now, but hopefully we can kind of let this blow by the wayside and have some calmer heads come next challenge. But
after running into you, I'm sure she doesn't trust you, like looking for the idol too. You told her.
I told Regan I wasn't going to look for the idol, that I was going to go eat tacos, and then maybe 15 minutes later, she saw me looking, and I was like, well, shit. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be fun. We gotta just prepare for that and hope to get a win. And if we don't, then what I would like to do in the event of a loss is take out Regan with the 4 that we have now: Mitch, myself, Allison, and Jake. Regan is a pretty big threat, I think, and I think she's going to hold on to this grudge a little longer than Autumn ever will. I got to start thinking ahead, because there's going to be some kind of tribe swap or some kind of merge here sooner rather than later, and I want to work with people that I know have my back, and then I don't want to keep people in the game that I think can beat me. And I think Regan can beat me, because I think she is pretty smart and knows what she's doing. So
at this point, though, we have 4 with the 3 of us and Jake. So if she gets mad, she gets mad. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has been an eventful past 24 hours or however long it is. So that vote was obviously a little bit hard. Raphael was honestly who I trusted most in this game, and it sucks that I had to use the information that he gave me to eliminate him. It's kind of weighing heavy on me that was the reason he went home, but I mean, it's just a game. So the funny thing was, after Tribal, like an hour after Tribal, I got 2 text messages. One from Regan saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry what happened. Like, I want to talk to you and clear the air." And Autumn, who also said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Can we talk tomorrow? I want to clear the air before the challenge."
So what's up?
So, yeah, that vote was a little intense.
I know. I just kind of wanted to like explain my side of it.
Yeah.
Because I totally like didn't want to vote you out.
Basically, I just wanted to like talk to you about the whole like tribal thing because I feel like it's really awkward.
Yeah.
So,
I was just voting where I thought the numbers were.
No.
Because I didn't want to I didn't want it to be a 4-3 vote like that. So everyone told me they were voting you, and I was like, okay, I'll vote you, you know?
Right.
Like, a part of me is like obviously upset anytime like my name is brought up,
Yeah.
but like the other part of me like understands.
I'm being nice and understanding because I mean I try to be that way in life. So I told him like I'm not mad at all. Like the fact that I can work with Mitch even after he said he wanted to vote me off shows that I don't have like I can separate what's going on in the game versus how I'm feeling. Like I've seen the game played on TV. Like I understand. I'm not like hurt in the fact that like it makes sense to go where the numbers are. Like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's what
I have no like
ill will towards you or
good.
Autumn or anything. Like
I don't necessarily like harbor any bad feelings towards y'all. Like I like am more than okay with both of you. Like I understand why you did it, especially thinking like that they were all voting for me. Like that makes it even more clear to me. Like
Regan actually admitted like I wish I would have done a 4 with you, Raphael, me, and Autumn.
Because we were thinking about it. We're like, do we take this and go me, you, Autumn, and Raphael? And like, and now I'm thinking back like we should have done that. And I'm like so pissed that we didn't because I don't know.
And I was like, yeah, that would have. In my head, I'm like, yeah, that would have been smart, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that have been smart?
Right. Like if they told us they were going Raphael and that was the plan, I would have been like, okay.
Right.
Like I'm so fine with that if that's where the numbers are.
Like it's just so funny how fast the game changes, and it just humbles people so much. People think they're in charge and looking good, and Regan was saying like, I'm in control of this game. I'm just biding my time, and then I'm gonna take the top like where I belong. And then now, look who's groveling at my feet. None other than little Miss Regan. I just like the power dynamic shifts going on. I mean, I guess it's not really a shift because Greg and Mitch are still at the top and running this show, but, you know.
I don't know how you feel about Greg, Mitch, and Autumn, or Allison, if you side with them.
They saved me in this vote, but, like, I don't know if like, there hasn't really been a talk about, like, future.
Right, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. It just worries. I really hope we win tonight, but I don't know what's going to happen if we don't win.
So yeah, I'm still planning on going forward with Mitch, Greg, and Allison, and hopefully they still trust me, because I think it's more important for me right now to get to the merge than to try to make a move right now if I'm not on their target list. So I'm going to try to prove to them that they can trust me for now.
All right. What's up, guys? So it's what, 3rd challenge night?
Yeah.
A couple hours before, and this is our first meeting here as a 4-person alliance.
We've all kind of talked about it separately in pieces, and this is the first time we've really brought it together.
It's been quite the day. Our last day and a half, I guess. Wonderful goldfish here. I eat these when I'm thinking. So
I finally settled into that alliance. 4 with me, Kelly, Simon, and Nick.
So we feel really good about this 4. We know for voting purposes we're going to need one more just to take majorities. But hopefully we don't have to vote again, and hopefully you don't switch our tribes because we're finally feeling...
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's a risk.
Finally feeling a little bit decent on our challenges.
Alliances and working together.
Yeah. Well, the good news is like, if we stay 4 strong,
that's true.
I promise I'm voting with this group.
Yeah.
I'm in
I feel
with
like
this one.
that's gonna be the way. Like, if we really stick to that.
Well, as soon as we get a 5th vote and knock somebody off, we have a majority.
I've mainly been focusing my strategy on keeping Kelly safe, because we're pretty convinced she might have an idol, and that concerns us because we're going after her. in my original 4-strong alliance.
I do think we should get a 5th person. I think we should watch performance in the challenge tonight.
I had mentioned maybe Ryan because I like the way he performs in the challenges.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out a target if we need to. But
we're all on the same page, it seems like. I really don't think, really hoping nobody's backstabbing any of us or secretly aligning with someone else more closely than what this 4 is, but I think we have a good core 4 here.
Simon and I had to convince Kelly she was safe. We go in there, we do that. Collateral damage is Alex. I like Alex. She's a really good competitor. And again, I feel really bad lying to Kelly's face. I don't really care who we go after personally, but I think we should have an idea of who, since he said the turnaround's going to be Thursday or Friday. I mean, we know it's nobody in this far unless somebody's lying through their teeth, which I don't think they would in this group setting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing what my job is within my alliance, and I'm doing a good job of it. But man, it's hard. It's really hard. I know when we talked last night, we mentioned maybe going after Brooke if we had to, because it seems like, as far as we know, she's the one with no other help. I tossed Brooke's name out because that's really the only logical name. I have nothing against Brooke. I fully have absolutely no intention of ever going after her until later in the game. Obviously, I'll have to. But
I feel like that's a good option to go for Brooke, but I think we should figure out who she's kind of with.
Yeah.
Well,
good?
Sounds good.
Watch us kick ass in a challenge tonight.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get her done.
3 for 3.
Come on in, guys. Armira, welcome. Stand in line right on over there. Marmira still 8 strong. With that, we'll bring in the 6 remaining from Orlapiri. Orlapiri, come on in. Orlapiri, welcome. Marmira, getting your look at the new Orlapiri tribe. Raphael voted out at the last tribal council. You guys surprised to see Raphael gone? That's, okay, I guess not. All right, cool. So with that, we're ready to get to today's challenge. I love the enthusiasm, but I'm gonna take immunity back first. Spencer, come on over.
Oh, it's coming back. Don't you worry.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll be back for you.
Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, you will divide up into groups of 3 within your tribes. 3 of you will be designated as bridge builders. The other 3 will cross the bridges that they build. You will start at this end of the sand here. The 3 people building the bridges will use buckets and planks to build a path from this black line to the far wall, where you will see 3 beanbags. Once you get all 3 of your tribe members to the other side onto the far wall, you can take your first beanbag, pack up all your stuff, and run back. And then you'll go again. Once you get all 3 of your bags, you guys will be at this black line here and throw those bags at these 9 cups on the table. Once you knock down all 9 of your cups from the table, that tribe will win immunity. Is that understood? Cool. There's one extra thing with this challenge. If you guys look, 2 white cones right there. In the white cones is a hidden immunity idol clue. So, if you'd like, you can go as a tribe together to go get it. It might put you off track for a little bit, and you're getting it in front of everyone. But if you think that you guys want that advantage, go for it. If you think you're far ahead enough and you want that advantage for your tribe or for yourself, feel free to do that. And otherwise, I have nothing else. Any questions? All right, Maramira, you have 8 members. You got to sit out 2 to make it 6 on 6. Otherwise, I'll give you a minute to strategize and we'll get started, all right? Cool, let's go. Does anybody not have
could
good
always
balance?
switch
I'll
out.
be a builder.
Yeah,
Okay.
is anyone bad at balance?
I have terrible ankles.
Not good throwing back in Alex.
I do too.
All right.
You 2 sitting?
All right. Sitting out from Aramira, we have Brooke, Kelly. 6 on 6, let's get started. Survivors ready? Go! Greg. Someone else is building the bridge for them.
Great, guys.
said
You gotta put them.
you got to put them right
You gotta put them close together.
Give that board support. Give your teammates support.
They watched that. They've already moved.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, don't fall.
Okay. Easier said than done.
Guys, they have a better strategy.
Professor, you need to get on the board.
I'm here.
Fury going under the net. Autumn is under.
Careful on the middle one.
Stephanie is under from Aramira. Nick is cradling Spencer.
Oh yeah. Nice and easy. All three.
Come on, guys.
Yes.
Fury has a slight lead over Aramira.
Both tribes working very well together. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Autumn, Regan, and Mitch doing very well.
Guys, we need a better system next round.
Yeah. Everything just.
All three of you need to be on the wall.
Whoa! Nice. I'm good.
Your miss. It's okay.
Yeah, grab buckets. Grab buckets. Just wait, hold on.
When you get to the wall, you're good.
No. Everyone on the wall. On the wall.
You said grab one bag, right? Come on, Mitch. You got it. Nice. Grab a bucket on the way back. Grab a bucket.
I forgot it was to the wall.
Back. Well, here goes there first. Maramira with the big mistake. They fall off. We gotta listen to instructions, the little details.
Fury going back for their second bag. Maramira for their first after a big fall.
Oh, they fell.
Here, take it easy. You don't want to fall.
Guys, they fell.
Well, Fury working very well together. Watch your toes on it.
The next one, do you guys want to do on that side so we can just reach the blue? On the third one. Because if we do it on the right side, we can reach it without building a bridge.
I don't want to go home. Neither tribe has gone for their clue. Maramira almost there for their first bag. This challenge could change very quickly. All it takes is one fall.
Okay, we got this.
Alex across from Maramira.
Buckets, get to the wall.
Regan and Autumn both across. Mitch is across. Go! Well, Imperius too.
Hey, bring those back. Go back. Go, we got to go down the wall.
Go!
No, it's all three of them. It's only three of them.
We can move ourselves over. We'll take one bucket. Maramira working very quickly for their second bag. Will they be able to catch up?
They're only going for their second. Guys, we have a solid lead.
Are you good right here?
I'm good.
You good? Maramira halfway to their second bag. Don't want to fall now.
Yep.
Alex making some big play. Allison, Greg, and Jake are working very well together.
Guys, bucket back to the wall.
Yeah. Good. Orlapiri is going for their clue.
Should we stop?
I say no.
Go for it.
No, I mean, like, let's go.
Go for the clue.
Let's get our victory. Let's get our victory and go.
Get our victory and go.
Get our victory and go. Right to the middle. You gotta get to the
Go
wall.
one with I can, if you put one bucket, that's gonna fall. I can, if you put one bucket to the side, I can grab it. Alright.
Orlapiri is changing course. They're going for their third bag. Careful.
I might need a little closer.
Go back. Orlapiri goes back. Maramira with a chance to catch up. Maramira has no second bag. What time? 2-2. Just like that. We're going for a walk.
They fell?
They fell. We're good. Slow. Motherfuckers. Sure? Let him go. We are doing amazing.
You guys are doing amazing. Going slow, they fell.
Big mistake by Orla Perry.
Thank you, Jake.
Don't forget to breathe. We're breathing. Maramira has a slight lead over Orla Perry. Whoa! God. A near miss by Alex. Step on that, make it. Autumn and Regan are both across.
Alright, we're close. Come on, guys. Keep working, builders. Slow bucket. Slow. Guys, with the exact same pace.
Spencer moonwalking across.
Alright, take this plank.
Voltron very close.
Bucket!
Just bucket. One more bucket.
Let me just grab a hand, please.
Regan's across. Get another bucket. We need another bucket.
Hurry up, grab a bucket.
Autumn is across. Go! Both tries, the ball behind the black line. One person throwing at a time. Yeah. Got a 9 ball. 9 cups off the table.
Go.
Orla Perry has 3. Only 1 from Maramira. Grab that back. Mitch throwing for Orla Perry. She misses. One person's throwing at a time. One person throwing at a time.
Yes. Get the forward one. Got it.
Greg throwing. Greg is bad.
Can you throw like a skipping rope?
Yeah, I got you. Ryan going underhand for those.
Actually, I think
Gotta knock the ball off. Ryan misses.
No. One person can throw
Nice. Mitch gets 2.
Keep it up, Mitch. Stay Mitch. Mitch is throwing.
a little higher.
Got 5 cups, Maramira. 3 cups for Orla Perry. One at a time, off the table.
Yes!
Maramira has 4.
Yes! Yes!
One cup left.
You got it, Ryan. You got this.
You got it, Mitch. Lower. So close, I got it. Go down. Go down, guys. Go down.
Bring it in.
That's hard.
Oh my god! My heart just stopped. Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Another photo finish. 1 cup left for Orla Perry. Maramira comes out on top. Come on up, guys. Yeah! Thank you. For the 3rd consecutive time, Maramira wins tribal immunity. Safe from this week's tribal council. Orla Perry, for the 3rd straight time, you guys will be going to tribal council and one of you will become the 3rd person voted off of this game. You guys will have a couple days to figure out who that is. I'll see you at tribal.
Well, that sucked. We literally had a 1-bag lead. Like, I don't know how we lost that challenge because we had such a lead. And I thought we had it in the bag for sure. And then we had 1 cup left. I was like, that's all we need. And then they took it away and lost. So that feels shitty because 3rd time in a row we were going to tribal council. And I definitely don't feel safe because our alliance flipped on us last round. So it's a gamble of who's going home this week. And we're going to have to do a lot more scrambling like we've been doing the past 2 weeks.
I don't even really know what to say about this one. I'm just really tired of losing, and most of the time when we lose, it's like kind of okay in a way because I had like my strong 4 alliance that I could rely on, that I wasn't gonna go home. But after last tribal, there was kind of a blind side, so I don't really know where I lie with my tribe at all. Mitch did fall, so I could try to blame it on Mitch, but at the same time, like, I feel like everyone's really close with Mitch, so I don't know, we finally got to the point where our tribe was like a solid, friendly group, and we got rid of everyone that we didn't want, so it's just frustrating that we have to vote someone home again, and the other team is so freaking cocky that it's so awful, so.
Mitch, so I brought some cookies down here. You want a cookie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, they're for winners. I'm sorry. So this is, we just beat Mitch's tribe for the 3rd straight time. I'm going to enjoy a victory cookie here.
I've got my loser cereal. Another loss on the table. This one really hurt. I mean, I felt a little bit responsible. I mean, sure the plank slid, but like I'm the one who still fell. So now we're going to tribal yet again.
Challenge was fun. It was really fun. There was potential to go for a clue. I thought we probably should for the idol, just because I have a feeling a tribe swap or a merge or something, some twist is coming. You can't let one tribe keep beating on the other like this. And that's basically what I went to talk to Mitch about after the challenge.
You and I both know that there's a tribe swap or a merge. Something's coming up.
If we beat you again in tribe swaps.
Something's coming up. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Mitch was he was upset they lost. Everybody probably was on their tribe. I mean, they have to go back to tribal for the 3rd time. We haven't been yet. That's an issue for them. So, looked like you and Regan might be on a little bit better terms tonight, just from me observing your tribe.
I mean, we came together tonight for the challenge, but like, we still haven't like aired anything out between us.
Okay.
She has no idea still why Greg and I voted for Raphael, really.
So she just thinks you guys can really turn on.
Yeah, a little bit. And honestly, she's probably the next one to go. Even right after immunity was over, Regan sent out a text to the Graham Cracker saying, "Hey, are we working together with this vote?" I called up Greg right away. I'm like, how are we going to respond to this? Do they still trust us or not? Basically what we said is, we're going to meet up, we're going to talk, we just said, hey, we just wanted Raphael gone first. We're still down to vote Jake. But in reality, Greg and I are with Jake and with Allison so that we get the new 4 going. Most likely what we're going to do is target Regan, but we're going to have to split the votes just in case one of them has found the idol. So that would be a 2-2-2 tie, and then just vote out the girl who does not have the idol. Hopefully Regan, she's more of a threat post-merge or post-swap or whatever. We're thinking ahead and saying, hey, Regan's a threat strategically and in challenges post-merge, so she's already got it out for Greg and I. We want to get rid of her now. Yeah, hopefully it's a pretty chill 5 days. We've got a long break before the next tribal. Sounds good.
You guys, you need to figure out a way to beat us next week.
Yeah.
So we don't run into that tribe swap.
Here, since I've got a question now that's been like on my mind. So now that you're here and Raphael's gone, was that story about them wanting to pull in Raphael and Allison to vote out me and Mitch?
Yeah, and I felt awful about it too because like the only reason I knew about that was because of Raphael,
right.
And then I had to use that information to get him eliminated.
So we lost another challenge on Tuesday. That'll be the 3rd loss in a row, I think.
Honestly, this is the most relaxed I've been about a tribal council so far. I don't want to say I feel safe, but I feel relaxed. That's the word I think I want to use for this tribal, is relaxed. Like, you ran off, right? We were going to meet up later and look for the idol. But they were both, like, looking over at me, like, for an explanation, like, why is Jake still here and why is Raphael gone? So I had to run over and, like, kind of give him, like, the story of what went down.
Yeah.
First of all, the real 4 met up. That would be myself, Greg, Allison, and Jake. So the 4 of us met up, and we're on board to, target Regan first. Mostly because Autumn would be more willing to, work with us if we're anticipating, like we think there is, like a merge or more probably as a swap, like a mix-up of the tribes.
Regan's definitely, like, I think they're both panicked.
Yeah.
But I think Regan, like she admitted yesterday, she's constantly thinking about this game.
Met up with Jake, Allison, and Mitch, and we decided that Regan is probably the best bet for the next one to go. Yeah, I think Regan's a gamer. I think I've said that to you before. I think Regan is always playing this game like 100% of the time.
Which brings us to like tribal, and if they have an idol. So.
Oh yeah.
So like if they do have one, we should split the votes, and they only have 2.
So it'd be a tie, and then we do a revote.
A revote, right? Yeah. So it'd be like 2-2-2.
We settled on we have the numbers to split the vote between Autumn and Regan.
just in case Regan has the idol, one of the four of us doesn't go home. So I think what we've got it down to is me and Allison are going to vote Autumn, Mitch and Jake are going to vote Regan. In theory, it's a foolproof plan, but obviously that requires trusting Mitch, Allison, and Jake.
Okay, so for now, at least, Regan, Autumn.
Yeah, so you guys are voting Regan, me and Allison are voting Autumn, and then if one of them plays the idol, all the votes go to the other one. If not, all the second votes go to Regan.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yep,
okay,
cool. Sounds good.
So other than that, I mean, I think it's going to be another vote where I'm completely in the loop, which is awesome. That feels good.
The interesting conversation was with the graham crackers. Oh yeah, so I mean, the last vote, obviously, our alliance was not together on the vote because Greg and I kind of made a last-second decision to vote Raphael out, and I mean, obviously, that caused some tension within this alliance. Regan and Autumn obviously were still kind of mad about last tribal, and basically Regan just said, "Hey, if you two are going to leave Autumn and I, just come out and say it. There's 6 people left. We can't do anything about it. Just tell us." And I could tell Greg really didn't want to come out and say that. He was beating around the bush and says like, "Hey, you know, like I've told you that I like this four. We want to go together." I kind of butt in and just like kind of saved him a little bit. I just came out and said it. You're fine. We're totally down to vote Allison. I think we have narrowed it down to Jake and Allison, obviously. But I think Allison will be who we're voting for.
So the plan that the four of us agreed on, which we didn't really agree on it, but we in theory agreed on it in words, was that we're all going to vote Allison. I'm not going to vote Allison for sure. I don't think Mitch will vote Allison. He wants Regan. And quite honestly, I don't think Regan believed anything that we said.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with lying to somebody right to their face and just saying, "You're safe, don't worry, we're voting Allison." Somebody's got to go, and I want that person to feel, you know, as comfortable as they can for the next couple of days.
All right, I'm good with that then.
Cool.
Cool.
Feel bad, but cool.
Hopefully everything runs smoothly and plays out in our favor, and you know, everything starts to look up for us. You know, if there's a swap or something.
I just met with Mitch and Greg to try to see how this vote's going to play out on Sunday. And to put it short, I didn't believe a word they said. They're bad liars. You could straight up tell they were lying. Mitch's tone of voice was completely different. Greg wouldn't look you in the eye. He looked at the ground the whole time he was talking to you. I was like, you guys aren't even good at lying. Like, don't even try because you suck at it.
It's definitely been a pretty rough week. The past 2 weeks I've had that security blanket of the Graham Cracker Alliance, and now I definitely don't, because that Graham Cracker is like crumbled and moldy and just dead. Like, there is no more alliance there. And
Mitch and Greg are not to be trusted anymore. We should have took out Allison when we had the chance and lined with Raphael and Jake, but we were stupid and let them beat us to it, and we're going to pay the consequences.
I honestly, like, if you have a plan and you have numbers to do it, I would definitely be down to work with you.
So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I think we could get Jake to vote with us. I think it's going to be hard to get Allison to vote with us.
I'll send a text and see if Allison, you, Autumn, and I can meet tomorrow at like 1:30 and see if we can get Allison on board. I think if we could get that, that would be huge, and they wouldn't really see it coming. And
no, so
I
if
think
they have
it's
an idol.
Right.
It wouldn't be played, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think it's just smart to break them up before like they get even more powerful and make even more moves that we don't.
I don't know. It's literally up to Jake and Allison at this point. Regan and I pitched our case.
I don't know. I think it would be like a good move to get either Greg or Mitch out. If like the four of us could stick together, and I think it would be beneficial to get one of them out because they seem so powerful.
So we told them that basically Greg and Mitch are going to backstab them at some point, and we aren't. And like Greg and Mitch already backstabbed us. So, I mean, there's really nothing else we could say at this point.
I don't know. I think like we have an opportunity to take one of them out, and I think we might fight ourselves if we don't take it when we can.
it's just up to them, whatever they want to do. If they feel safer with me and Regan, then that's fine. If they feel safer with Greg and Mitch, like, that's okay too. It's going to be interesting to see because Jake, like, at one point was, like, backstabbed by me and Regan. But, also Mitch just doesn't give off good vibes, and he did, like, text about Jake in the group chat and everything, so, I don't know. It's just, we've all kind of done Jake dirty at this point, so it's whoever did the least.
Do I feel bad, like, immediately going back on them? But like we just said, it's a game, so...
Yeah, and, like...
Yeah, I just need to...
Like, it'll only be one of them gone, so then we only have... If we vote out Mitch, we only have Greg to worry about. And if we have a solid 4, what is he really going to do?
Right.
So I guess I'm going to tribal council writing Mitch's name out. I think it's smart to get him out now because he knows Nick on the other tribe. Him and Greg are tight. I think if we make it to a merge or a tribal swap or anything, it's going to be him, Greg. He'll align with Nick. They'll have a powerful, big alliance, and they're just going to pick us off one by one. So I'm voting Mitch tonight. Pretty sure Autumn's voting Mitch. And hopefully Jake and Allison also vote Mitch. Because if we stick the 4 of us, we dictate the vote. Right. The 4 of us vote the same way. Because obviously you guys could either go with them and vote one of us out, or stick with us and vote one of them out.
This vote is literally up to you guys.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk after this so we make sure we're on the same page. Like one of us isn't doing one thing, one of us doing.
I do agree that it would be good to get. I think Mitch.
I'm just afraid if we don't take Mitch out and we have the opportunity, we're gonna hate ourselves for not doing it.
I am voting for Mitch, and hopefully he still goes home.
It's pretty much just up to them, and I think they know that. So I don't know. They'll do what they think's best.
And hopefully Jake and Allison decide to come our way and vote Mitch. Literally no one but Jake and Allison know how this vote's gonna go.
Welcome back. Or Laperia, let me be quite blunt with you. 3 times in a row. That's the worst case scenario. There's going to be 5 of you left from a tribe that started out as 8. So I'm not going to BS around this tribal council. Let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the challenge. Mitch, you guys gave up a huge lead. You had that challenge. Let's talk about the frustration of that, losing it.
Yeah, definitely we came in with the mindset that we were going to win this one. We're not going back tribal. We're going to show them what's up. So obviously we were doing really well with balancing. Obviously playing slip that fell off and they just, came back.
Autumn, not only did you lose that challenge, but you've lost 3 in a row. And that sucks. It's probably not the vision that you had walking into this game was losing the first 3 challenges and being in jeopardy. How are you feeling today?
Today I'm feeling everything under the sun. Like, it's always exciting coming here and playing the game, but we definitely don't want to be a tribal. I definitely did not think that we were going to lose 3 in a row, especially because we have some really competitive people on our team. It's not like we're lazy and just not trying. We are definitely putting our all into these challenges, and we just lose on such little technicalities. Last time their cup tipped over and rolled off the table, and then right after that Mitch threw again and we knocked all of ours off. So literally that 1 second made the difference in this challenge, and it's super frustrating.
So you guys do work well together. I mean, you were close to the first challenge, you were close to the 3rd challenge, so I don't think it's a tribe chemistry problem. So is it hard then today, Regan, to vote someone out? Because you guys are working well together, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to vote someone out, vote another person out, because if we, like Autumn said, we were so close in that challenge, we were so close in the first challenge, and if we just would have pulled through, we wouldn't have to be here. And I think everyone likes each other, and we get along well, and we're just kind of forced to turn on each other because we're stuck at tribal council, and someone has to go, and no one wants it to be them.
So Autumn brought up the point, Greg, about how you guys come here and you're just playing the game. Tribal council is where the game is actually played. Because challenges are great and all, but where trust is actually built is here. So do you think that you guys have an advantage in coming here 3 times? I know you're down in numbers, but is that good?
I mean, it's, to put it like a father talking to his son, it's built character with us, I think, because we've been there and done that, but it's a numbers game, and so if we go and merge or swap or whatever, we're always going to be down numbers no matter what. And so it's going to be hard to convince people from the other tribe, hey, keep us and vote somebody else out that you guys will work with, because they haven't had to make those fractures and
those hard decisions. There's no split with them. Whereas, we had to make a decision 1 time, 2 times, today a 3rd time. So it's going to be, I think we have the mindset advantage because we know what to expect. We know how to, weave our way in and out of tribals, but we don't have the numbers advantage, which is pretty big.
You guys have lost 3. They've won 3. They've celebrated 3 wins in a row. So their morale and their reputation among each other is probably very high. But what is the reputation of the other tribe to you guys, Jake?
Boo. Just a big boo. I think a lot of them are bigger personalities. And I think a lot of them, I don't think the word obnoxious is quite right, but close to obnoxious. Yeah, they're pretty close. It's pretty close. But so, for example, during the second challenge, Stephanie jumped into our room, screamed, "Ha! We won!" And I just get that vibe from a decent amount of that team. So I'm not a big fan. I understand during the merge we need to work with some of them because we have lower numbers. But if I had the option not to, I probably would.
So is it deflating then, Allison, to be against this team that apparently rubs it in your face every time they win?
No, if anything, that motivates me more because I want to see them lose. I want them to know what it's like to feel this way and have to go to tribal. So it motivates me.
Now, again about the challenge, one thing that you guys neglected to do, you had a lead and you started to go for an idol clue. That we told you guys before the challenge even started was there. So then, Mitch, do you regret trying to go for the idol clue? Do you think that led to your demise? Do you think it's good that you don't have it?
I don't think going for the clue really was our downfall. I mean, it was just a little bit out of the way. And it was such a huge lead, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. The big issue was me slipping off that line, not going for the clue.
Not getting that clue has its consequence, right? So none of you guys have, well, one, it could be a benefit that no one has it. No one's searching for this idol in a specific spot that the clue may have told you to go. But at the same time, that's a lost advantage on a twist in this game. So do you regret not going for the clue, or as a team, or as an individual?
I definitely don't regret not going for that clue just because, I mean, in the end, if we had won, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't need an idol. So, yeah, I definitely don't regret not going for it. Plus, we saw last season that people can find idols without clues. So if you really want an idol that bad, you can get out there and search for hours and hopefully you'll find something.
So, Greg, let's assess the week then. Challenge is on Tuesday. 5 days. And that's the longest break we've had between a challenge and a tribal council yet. So, were you more paranoid this week? Were you distracted by the fact that it's game day that Saturday? It's the first one. What was it like this week?
It was weird because in the past we've, lost the challenge and then kind of gotten right into it the next day and okay, we got to start strategizing. But I think, at least the impression I got is everybody was really frustrated that we lost. And so the next day, which would have been Wednesday, was kind of I don't think anybody really did anything in terms of conversations. It was pretty laid back because we were all just frustrated that we lost. And then as the week started to go on, I was like, okay, you need to talk to this person and that person to see what's going on. And then I know there were some meetups today to kind of just solidify plans or, maybe get some last minute tweaks. And so it was it was weird because there was such a big layoff that it was kind of weird to balance. Okay, I talked to this person, 4 days ago. Do I need to confirm with them that we're good, or can I trust that? Because when you only have 2 days, it's okay, I talked to them yesterday. I would think we're still good. But so much can happen in that time. And then obviously with game day, you've got that. Everybody's doing their own thing to get ready for the game. And so it was it was a weird layoff that we hadn't experienced yet, which was just another twist in what we had to go through.
So, Regan, do you feel like you were more paranoid going into this vote because it was such a long time, or did you like it better that you had so much time to strategize?
I don't know, I kind of prefer getting right into it. I wouldn't say I was more paranoid, because kind of like Greg said, I feel like we were all decompressing on Wednesday, being I don't know, I just woke up in the morning and I was like, how did we lose that challenge? It was just a shock that we actually lost a 3rd challenge in a row. So I think like Greg said, that Wednesday was just kind of decompress, everyone, see where we're going. And then with game day, that helped I don't know, everyone was busy, so it didn't seem like too much paranoia, but I definitely kind of would rather just get it done sooner and know who's going home.
Jake, so you received votes at the last tribal council. Are you nervous coming into this tribal council that could happen again?
I'm always a little bit nervous. Again, I was a little lucky last week. I got a warning. If I am getting votes today, I didn't get that
morning today. So I'm not as nervous as I was last week, but I'm always nervous. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a paranoid person, so pretty much every week I've kind of gone into it scared, and I'll keep that going if I go forward, I think.
All right. And Allison, so I mean, 5 of you guys here after this vote. Is that 5 strong going into the next challenge? Because it's not easy going 5 versus 8 this early in the game.
Yeah, I think after all we've been through, we're going to be stronger than the other tribe. We definitely talked with each other a lot. You know, it's hard to get to trust people, but I think we're at a point where we do trust each other, and hopefully going through all this is going to make us stronger than the other tribe.
That being said, does anyone has anything to say? It's time to vote. Regan, you're up.
I can only hope that the other people are deciding to vote this way as well. I think it's time for you to go, Mitch, but at the same time, it could just as easily be me tonight, so we'll see.
You're a good friend, but I think you need to go. Hopefully it goes to a revote.
Tally the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote is Mitch. Second vote is Mitch. 2 votes, Mitch. Regan. That's 2 votes, Mitch. 1 vote, Regan. Regan. That's 2 votes, Mitch. 2 votes, Regan. Autumn. That's 2 votes, Mitch. 2 votes, Regan. 1 vote, Autumn. 1 vote, left. Autumn. With a 3-way tie. 2 votes for Mitch, Regan, and Autumn. In the event of a tie, Mitch, Regan, Autumn, none of you will be allowed to vote. We will participate in the revote, in which only Jake, Allison, and Greg will participate in that revote. You can only vote for one of those 3. So with that being said, we're going to go right into that revote now. Alright? Greg, you're up. Again, I will read the votes. First vote is Regan. The third person voted out. The survivors never change. Our own defend is Regan. Regan, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to bring your torch. Question. Will this be a strong 5 going into the next challenge? That's important, because if you guys are here again, you're in deep shit, to put it bluntly. So let's see if you 5, moving forward, can go up against that 8 of Maramira, take it to him. Send him here, see what happens, alright? That being said, you guys can head on out.
I mean, I didn't go in thinking I wasn't gonna get voted off, so it's not like, at least it's a huge blindside, so I guess that makes me feel better. But it sucks, because I think if we were on different tribes and like everything played out a little differently, I wouldn't be getting voted out so early. So that's a bummer, because I think I could have done a lot better in the game if given a little bit of a better opportunity, but it is what it is, and that's the game. So I was hoping Allison and Jake would stick on Autumn and I's side and get out Mitch. I thought we made a pretty compelling case, so I'll be interested to see how that plays out, and if they wish they would have stuck with us, or wish, you know, or glad they did what they did.
You should have worked with me when you had the chance.
I think the ultimate thing that Autumn and I should have done is taken Jake's plea and voted with Raphael and got Allison out when we had the chance. So that's like coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that's the game.
That's a compliment more than an insult. You made your bed.
I hope Autumn makes it. I like her a lot, and yeah, I hope she makes it. Everyone else, I mean, I like them as people, like they're nice people. It's a game, can't hold grudges, but yeah, I'd like to see Autumn make it pretty far.